Okay, I'm gonna make a bowl out of this huge chunk of ash that I found on the side of the road. And the bowl is gonna end up being about 17 diameter. And I'm about to test out my new Bandsaw Circle cutting jig. And I've measured, and for me to get it in the jig with this height and diameter, a little bit of this wood is in the way. So I'm gonna just cut that off, plain cut in the bandsaw, and cut a little bit of this because this is iffy. Like maybe it'll make it and maybe it won't. So I'm gonna cut a little bit of those two off, and then this video is basically about testing out my new circle cutting jig. I've already got the faceplate for my circle jig mounted, and I drilled holes for my faceplate to match the holes on my faceplates for my lathe. So those screw holes are in the right place for the lathe. So anyway, after I do that, I'll cut back in using the circle jig. I'm ready to try to make this this giant chunk of wood into pretty close to a balanced bowl shape. And I'm going to use my new jig that I've made, a circle cutting jig for the bandsaw. And there's a million different ways to do these. I've been looking at videos of them on YouTube. I've decided to add a Lazy Susan because this chunk of wood is just so heavy. I don't want to have to try to spin it on just one little spot. So what I'm doing is this disc fits in this hole, but it's not deep enough to touch the plywood. So all the weight of that wood will be resting on this. So here we go. If this doesn't work out, I'll probably never show this video, ever. Now let's see. Trying to find an easy spot. Okay. Just hold it in place for a minute. One thing is I don't want this spinning while I start the cut. So I'm going to secure it with a couple of pieces of wood so they can't get away. Ready to. And then I'm ready. Okay. Cut! I'm gonna have to try that again. Okay, second try. Further investigation required. Okay, this is my fourth try. The first try, I was on a straight fence. I realized my drift, the blade drift, which means the cutting drift, it doesn't necessarily cut straight with the edges of the bandsaw. It's cutting this direction. So I put on a new fence and I adjusted for drift. Tried the second time. It didn't work. Third time didn't work. Anyway, I've adjusted the drift again. I think it's gonna work this time. I'm gonna win. I'm talking to the wood. It's not a good sign, but I'm gonna try it again, and hopefully it's gonna work this time. I think if your drift is just slightly off, as soon as you cut in a couple of inches, the blade is, if it's come in 2 inches and it's off 1/8 of an inch, it starts shutting down the bandsaw. I mean, it's just so much thick wood that it's cutting through. All right, so here we go. To be continued. Okay, fifth try. Fifth try. Getting upset. I cried a little bit before I turned the camera back on. I dried my tears. Sorry. You know what they say, fifth try is a charm. I adjusted the drift a little bit more. got it. Almost. Hand grenades. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I think this is my 6th try to cut this. I got a new blade, 3 teeth per inch instead of 4 teeth per inch. So far, so good. Okay, it's finished. I made it. It's probably more trouble than it was worth. I've decided I need a different bandsaw blade, and then maybe it would be easy. I was using a 1/2 inch blade, and maybe I should have used a 3/8 inch blade. So anyway, I had to adjust and readjust so many times, not knowing if I had the blade drift right. Still got a tiny bit more. So it's not going to be perfectly round. I want it to be. But that's okay. It was my first shot at it. I made it through with the new blade, the 1/2 inch wide 3-tooth. I think I need a 3/8 inch wide 3-tooth. Maybe even 1/4, I don't know. Miscalculated a little bit. But it's a pretty heavy turning blank. So I'll do an update. I'll do an update to this. If I get a new blade and I try another blank, because I've got a few more blanks that are around this size, a little bigger or a little smaller. This was quite a thing, and it was, like I said, it might have been more work than it was worth this first time. But if I can get the science of it down, in theory, it should be a pretty easy thing to get a really nice bowl blank. It just wasn't this time. But thanks for watching, and hopefully, like I say, next time it'll be better.